You almost got me, Ecam, but I saw it. All right, let me try that again. Hello and welcome to our little corner of the internet where we talk about fountain pens, inks, journals and journaling, and just about anything and everything that's going to keep you inspired. And if you haven't noticed, I forgot to set up my light too. But, it might not show me in my best light, but at least I'm here. I'm doing the show and I am enthused. So happy to be here. We have so much to talk about tonight. I have so much to show you. I've been dying to go live and just share everything I have with you tonight. And, this is really my oasis away from all the stress, all the pressure, all the deadlines of everything else that I do in my life. This is where I come and I can be more relaxed, just enjoy a bit of banter with you each week, talking about inspiration, talking about fountain pens, just, whatever drives our attention, our curiosity, whatever is worthy of our study. So a lot of stuff tonight. It was, of course, last weekend, the Empire State Fountain Pen Show. The first in New York in about a decade. And I'm going to tell you all the behind the scenes stories. I have some show notes and I just want you to know what it was like, how it went, and everything else. So if you watch the show each Tuesday night, I only ask one thing alone, and that is please subscribe. I'd love to have you on this journey with me as I go to various places. I'm going to dispense with a lot of the usual things this evening because I do have so much to tell you, the best and brightest audience in all of YouTube. I'm so happy you're here. So happy to have this forum. I'm going to start off by showing you something that just came in that I think you will enjoy, which I'm super excited about. Okay, so let me show you this. We're going to mix stories and show and tell. Does anybody have any idea what this is? I am so excited for this. All right, I'm going to show you. I'm not going to prolong it too much. You know I love rubber stamps, right? Oh, are you kidding me? Look at that. Oh, isn't that amazing? Do you know what this is? It's Albrecht Dürer's rhinoceros. He did this etching, I believe, in the 17th century. I think that's his dates, but he had never seen one. He did this from a description, maybe some other photo references, but not photo references, like paintings and whatnot, but it was mostly from a description. He did a pretty good job. And I always loved this rhinoceros. And now I have a fun rubber stamp. So Illuminati and Cognoscenti members that are in the Pen Pal group, you might have noticed some of my stamps in your letters. Now you're going to get a rhinoceros stamp on occasion. So there you have it. How fun is that? I mean, sincerely. Pretty fun. I kind of like the lighting this way. It feels a little bit more natural. Can you let me know in the comments and in the chat if you prefer a more natural lighting over the harsher lights that I record with? The reason I record with the harsh lights is because I need details to show up when I'm filming. But that's not necessarily the case on the live show when we're just chatting, you and me. So let me know your thoughts. I love your thoughts. Okay. So I have some pen stories and I also have some show and tell that I'll work in with it. And I'm not going to waste too much time before I get to it. So, yeah. Okay. So tonight's show is literally me spilling my soul, my whole experience of the pen show, and it's live. I'm liable to say anything. I'm tired. I tend to be very forthcoming when I'm tired. I felt bad last week. I called the Phileas a pilot, by the way. I hate when I miss a moment. Happens, especially at the end of the day when I'm sleepy, like now. I was going to have Aquamarina on tonight as co-host, you may have recalled, but her watercolors aren't ready yet, and she wants to share them with all of you. So that will be next week. So this week will just be me talking about the pen show. And let me tell you the video real quick for this week. I think you'll enjoy it. It's Journaling Secrets from Ernest Hemingway. So it's Ernest Hemingway's Journaling Secrets. I think you'll really enjoy it. It's a fun video, a lot of background, a lot of insight, and it will help you to stay inspired and writing. So that's this week. And next week's video, awesome. It's on Pelican. We're going to check out the flock once again and check out Pelican. I can't tell you what exactly, but it's coming, and I think you'll love it. So there you have it. See, I'm getting a lot of love for the lighting. Lisa Law, you legend, you. Dark Academia lighting. Yeah, maybe a little better if maybe I move this light a little bit, but thank you. I'm glad you guys like it, because maybe I'll do it this way all the time. Because, to be honest, it's hard to set up my lights all the time. Obviously, because I completely forgot this evening. So there you have it. I do want to mention a few things really quickly. One is that I have some discount codes, discount codes for you, just for you. I get nothing. If you need 10% off from Atlas Stationers for many items, try HJ10. HJ10. It's someone in my comments arguing with me about how I make money from Atlas, but I can assure you I don't. They kept showing me the rules of the affiliate program, but what they do not understand is I do not follow rules. I am Hemingway Jones. I make the rules. And Brendan's my friend, and I said, Brendan, just keep it. Just keep whatever money you make. And I believe he sold like 1,000 Karen. Now, that's probably an exaggeration, but let's say a whole lot of Waterman Karen. And I'm happy because I want him to. That's the point. And this is for you guys to get 10% off, not for me. So HJ10 for that. And Inky, INKII, with the cannolis. I have mine here. Haven't used it yet. I'm kind of afraid to get it dirty, even though you can wash these. They come out. You can get, I believe it's 10% off of these with Hemingway Jones all in capitals. And I get nothing from that either. And I'm happy to do it for you. You're my friend after all. You're here every week watching. It means a lot. So thank you. Yeah, David, I guess I'm going egomaniacal at the moment. I am the rules. Mwah. Yes, that's me. I'm self-deprecating. You know me. Okay, so let's jump into it. So much to show, so much to talk about. I'm going to only mention first names to protect the innocent. Like when I say Alexandra, you'll have no idea who that is. So, the ride down on Friday night was a bit of a disaster, actually, because we had to leave around 4 because my daughter got home from school shortly then. My wife got home from work, and I bugged out a little early. So, traffic was epic because of the holiday and because there were multiple accidents on the way down. And I did the best I could. It was very stressful, but very happy to arrive at the Midtown Hilton, which is kind of a terrible hotel. This is where they held the pen show, and I decided to stay there, although I wanted to stay at the Marriott Marquis, which is an excellent hotel. The Midtown Hilton is really run down. And I'm a bit of a hotel snob, so take that with a grain of salt. But I'm going to tell you why, and you can agree with me or not. Now, for having the pen show and going up to the second floor and going into the event space, it's fine. That was all fine. But the room was a little sketchy. Even though I paid some extra money and got more of a large room because there's 3 of us and it has to be comfortable. And let's just say, how do I say this on a family program? Let's just say I would have been loath to take a black light to the skirt on the bed and possibly to the couch as well. Is that, I think that's about as much detail as you need, and I think you can figure that out. And then the carpets were all very tired everywhere. And when we got to our room, there were 2 trash bags sitting next to it. And by the way, this was not cheap. I was there for 3 nights and it cost me $2,000. So not a cheap stay. Marriott Marquis, so much nicer, fantastic service. They would have never allowed any of that to happen. Also, the elevators were terrible, just terrible. They were upgrading them. Sometimes you couldn't even get on. If, God forbid, had there been an emergency and we needed to vacate the building quickly, it would have been an issue. As it was, sometimes you had to let elevators go. You had to take the 3rd or the 4th. And a few times I had to say, I'm sorry, guys, we just need to push on. And it was sort of like Tokyo Subway, where you just got in and you're like, yeah, sorry. Yeah, because you're just tired of waiting for elevators to be open. So not ideal. I would say do not stay at the Midtown Hilton unless you must. Now, on the other side, as a location, we were going to MoMA too. MoMA was right there. I mean, it was right there. And that was fantastic. And then 30 Rock was right down the street. When you came out of the hotel, you saw Radio City and it was Eataly was there, which I love Eataly. Gelato is fantastic, and I quite like the pizza as well. And then, of course, we took our daughter over to FAO Schwartz, which I might mention to you in a minute. Trying to move along, but there's a lot of exciting stuff coming up, so stay with me. Oh, yeah. So then that night we did get gelato at Eataly. Imogen was up very late. When we got back to the room, we realized that the pull-out couch didn't have bedding. So Imogen was in our king bed with us. Not ideal. We're a close family. We're not generally that close. Thank heavens I brought my PJs. So, but it's just like my daughter's a thrasher. She sleeps like, she's like, wakes up sideways, So 8-year-old, yeah, not ideal. So no one had a good sleep on Friday night, but very charming. So we get up the next morning, it's pen show time, but before I need a shower, I could not figure out how to get that shower to go. I had to call down the desk. She gave instructions, and yeah, she was right. The way to do it was right. I couldn't figure it out, but I did get it. So, like all pen shows, I paid to get in. I don't want you to think I was comped. There's no quid pro quo with me that's not disclosed. So, especially in this, and remember this point, please, because I'm going to speak about it a bit more. The idea of covering a fountain pen show as a person who makes videos and how I consider myself sort of like a rebel rogue disrupting broadcaster that I am, fearless in telling the truths. If a pen's terrible, I say it's terrible. If it's good, I say it's good. If it has problems, it has problems. I try to balance it out. I think I am the most honest, the most fair, most balanced person. I don't want to say on YouTube. That's not, that just sounds stupid. I just say that I am honest, balanced, and fair. That's what I'm trying to say. Mary Madden, thanks so much. $4.99 super chat. Thank you. I got Inkies at the Empire Pen Show on Sunday. Yay! You can use them for glasses and sunglasses wiping. Agree on the Hilton and Marriott. Right, Mary? Yeah, the Hilton was scary. Thank you, Mary, for your generous support of the channel. And thank you all for the likes and for the comments. I really appreciate it. I see there's other hotel snobs out there as well. What got me to be a snob is when I had a child and I needed a larger space. And then I wanted a nice suite. And it has to have amenities and be clean because I want my kid to be in a nice spot if we're going to a city. But that's an aside. Let's talk about getting into the show. So $25 for me to get in, $25 for Helen to get in. So it's already $50. But the beautiful part, and thank you Empire State Fountain Pen Show for thinking of this, but kids under 12 were free. So Imogen did not have to pay $25. She probably would have preferred had she not been there, because she wanted to go to FAO Schwartz. But she was a good sport, a very good sport indeed. And just to tell you sort of the kind of the timing of everything is, I was there for about 4 hours, from 10 to about 2, and then I came back around 4, 3:30 or whatnot. So if you came in the middle of the day, you might have missed me when I was at lunch, but I'll tell you more about that. Okay, so we were waiting in line, and Alexandra Richardson came by, and I got to meet her, which was very lovely. She is a lovely kid. I shouldn't call her a kid. She's 25, but everyone's a kid to me. So forgive me. I don't mean it to sound, diminutive in any way. She's just like really just earnest and lovely and smart and engaged and has good opinions, well supported, and just very nice and generous. Just like everything that you want in someone you meet. You want them to be kind of like their YouTube personality. If you ever met somebody and they weren't like they are on camera, you'd think they're disingenuous. And she is so authentic and genuine. It was just lovely. So lovely to meet her. A little taller than I thought she'd be, for what that's worth. She said the same about me. That's the thing I hear the most when people meet me. Like, you are so much taller than I expected. I'm 6'2", by the way. Joe Brown's here. Hi, Joe. Now, Joe, I'm going to call out because Joe is from the same area that I am in Massachusetts. He took the train down. I drove. He stayed in the same hotel as me. We went to the same pen show on the same day. And then he left by train. I drove home. I didn't see the guy. Joe, where were you, buddy? You ditched me. He didn't ditch me. He probably went at lunch, but you were missed, my friend. That's my point. Very, 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 very missed. So I want to say a little bit about the pen show itself and the space. The space is cavernous. It's massive and very open. And I think that's good and bad. I think it's really good because you could get a lot of sight lines at the tables. So at some pen shows, when everyone is pushed in, like at DC, even though DC is awesome, so fun, but if you're all in that big room, especially the main room, and everyone's side by side, and you can't get in and see, you tend to drift by things and miss things. At this show, you had very good sight lines, and it was never that crowded. I think maybe just after lunch was probably the most crowded, but most of the time it was pretty empty. And I thought it was almost disappointingly empty, but I talked to like Frank Zhang and some of the other folks that ran the show, and they seemed happy. So it must have done well. But from my perspective, it felt kind of empty-ish, but it was a very big space. And there were a lot of people there, too, in regards to people who watched the show, because almost every minute or so I was meeting someone new, and that was lovely. And I've mentioned this before, but that's sort of the air current that I fly upon. And it was lovely to meet so many of you and hear your stories. So many touching, incredible stories from each of you, and some of the tales of heroism and recovery and bounce back and mental struggles and triumphs and fantastic pen purchases and hugs and fellowship and friendship. It was just such a great sense of community, and it meant the world to me. I want you to know that. Like, me meeting you was such a pleasure. Chris Spence. Hi, Chris. 199 super chat. Thank you. Relatively new viewer. Really appreciate all you do. Chris, thank you. And I appreciate the monetized thank you. It's very kind of you. And it helps to keep the lights on. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Very, very kind. I see Teresa Harris is here. What's Teresa have to say? She has her own YouTube channel as well. Teresa Harris. Pen show spacing looks so nice. Not crowded up like usual. Yeah, see, that's the plus. That it wasn't, you never had that sense of being completely kind of congested. All right, it's time for me to tell a story. I did want this to be a confessional, so I want to tell something outrageous and true. Okay, you ready? Because this is outrageous and true, and I would only tell you, so please don't tell anyone else, okay? So I was walking at one point through the center part, and there were tables here and there were tables there. And there was a group of people around me, and they were like passing around me, and I was making my way. And, you know, how do I put this? I wouldn't say that my ass was grabbed, because grabbing is too much of a verb. I wouldn't say it was patted. And I wouldn't say it was like spanked. This is terrible, but this is true. It was somewhere between a pat and a grab, okay? And usually when that happens to me, and it does happen to me on occasion, I'm happy to say, I am a happily married man. My wife and I love each other very much. Occasionally, you know, I go in there, like, I love my wife. I'll hug her. Sometimes I tap her on the butt as somebody is apt to do. Sometimes she does that to me. Occasionally, you know, these things happen. The weird part was, my wife and daughter were in front of me. So to the person that kind of tried to take a Hemingway souvenir home, yeah, I don't know what to say to you, but I wasn't expecting that. Let me just say that. I was not expecting that at the pen show. So there is that. So will I wear some kind of padding in the future? I may consider it. I may indeed consider it. It was odd, guys, because there was nobody around me who looked like a likely suspect. I kind of expected my wife to make a face or something, even though she was considerably in front of me. And everybody around me looked so nice. I have no idea. No idea. But that happened. So, there you go. So anytime I approached the table, I always asked permission as to whether or not they had a chance to come on camera with me, because I don't want to just film and sort of talk and be this obnoxious YouTuber. I've seen influencers and even other influencers. If I guess I'm in that boat, I like not to think of myself that way, if you know what I mean. I'm going like, la, 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 not that. But I am certainly in that, like, I get it. I'm not, not unaware. Not unaware is double negative. I am aware of the fact that I'm in that grouping, perhaps. So I always ask permission. You mind if I film all this? So great when people want to come on camera. If they don't come on camera. So James from Papier Plume came on camera, talked about his inks. I love his stuff. They have a certain Anne Rice interview with a vampire vibe to them. The wax seals, the sort of old New Orleans kind of feel. I love everything he does. I did pick up something from there, at least one thing. So did Imogen. So I'll show that in a bit. It was also really funny. Nobody remarked on this, but at one point, apologizing. I think the young lady's name was Amanda that worked with James. And if I have your name wrong, please forgive me. I have trouble sometimes with names. Very nice, very professional, very warm. So I apologize to her. I was like, I'm really sorry for my chaotic energy. And she's like, girl, don't worry about it. And I was like, no one has ever called me girl before. So another interesting experience at the pen show. And I had to put it in because I thought it was super fun. Ooh, Debbie says their store in New Orleans is cool too. I would love to go to New Orleans. It's on my list of things to do. Okay. So Papier Plume went on to Cabra. It was very, very fun. Across from them was Chris at Truffet. I love Chris. I love Truffet. Carrie was there too. I didn't get him on camera, I don't think. But I did have Chris. We chatted. He had an Edson there. And it was in bold. And it was a beautiful sapphire one. I let it go. Someone actually bought it, but they bought it online. They didn't buy it at the show, which was interesting. He pulled it out of stock. And then he had some beautiful David Oscarsons and some incredible Mont Blanc pens. So he's always got interesting stuff. Truffet's one of those companies that I always keep an eye on their used stock. I always look at Peyton Street pens. I always look at Truffet. Truffet's stuff is always pristine and very nice. So I'm a big fan. Big fan. Okay. So, we had a bunch of Urushis too, which was very, very fun. So I went around the corner, and at the Omas Noveler table was Alessandra. She was there kind of repping for them. Is that accurate? I mean, manning the table, talking to people, all of that. She's a big Omas fan. She bought a beautiful Omas made out of spare parts that was really cool because it was like one of a kind. And I was very tempted myself to buy an Omas with a vintage nib that had a bit of bounce on an orange and black body. And it was a black barrel that said the Empire State Fountain Pen Show 2025. Very cool. It's $500. I thought that was a great price. I was tempted, but I didn't. Because I just didn't. But I regret that a little. I probably should have. It was very, very cool. Elizabeth says, could the person have been after your wallet? It felt like a love tap, Elizabeth. I don't keep my wallet in my back pocket either. I just don't. I'm not even sure I had my wallet with me because I was downstairs. But if I did, it would not have been in my back pocket. But let's hope, Elizabeth. We can only hope. Stuff like that hasn't happened to me in a while. Okay. So I didn't show the Omas table, by the way, on camera, except when I'm talking with Alexandra, not for any reason other than I had just talked to them at the Commonwealth and I didn't want to be repetitive. So maybe in retrospect, I should have. They certainly had a lot of really interesting things. And I do love Omas. So I just wanted to make that very clear. Now, here's another thing I mentioned earlier about the quid pro quo, right? Remember me mentioning that? Well, the reason I'm bringing it up is that if there's any sense that someone else has editorial oversight over my channel, oh, thanks for the thumbs up, guys. I appreciate it. Lots of thumbs up. So if there's any kind of, well, you know what? I think I missed David Pearson. So I'll go back to this point. I don't want to miss David. I love David. $5 super chat from David. Thank you. My long MB Moon Pearl Legrand fountain pen quest is over. Well done. It's one of the rarest MBs, and I now understand why. Pics and the whole story in Discord. It's a blessing. Congratulations, my friend. Well done. Well chosen. Or as I often say, you have chosen wisely. So very, very nice. Oh, you know what? Amanda, I'm going to go back to the quid pro quo thing in a second, but Amanda CBM, Alexandra's mom, is very nice. Alexandra's mom is so cool. I had a blast hanging out with her. She is so funny, so warm, so bright, so generous, so just an amazing human being. We spent so much time together before and after the show because the three of us filmed late at night. Alexandra asked me to do 20 questions. I think I was terrible. We'll see what it's like when it comes out. I was exhausted. I was in bed when she texted me. I had to get dressed, go downstairs, do it. But being there, her and her mom gave me energy and it was a blast. But yeah, if you have a chance to meet Alexandra, who's wonderful, and her mother, you get to see why she's wonderful because they're both just fantastic human beings. So it was absolutely amazing. Jonathan Chan. Hi, Jonathan. Recent new subscriber. Thank you for all your very entertaining and informative videos. Thank you from Norfolk, UK. Jonathan, thank you for being here. You guys keep this going, and I appreciate it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so let me get into specifics now. So the quid pro quo thing. If someone has any kind of editorial control over me, I don't want to do it. I am very careful about who I partner with. I had an opportunity to do Skillshare on this channel. They were going to pay a really nice amount of money each video, but they were very persnickety about what I had produced for it. It was in my own voice. And so I said, no, I just couldn't do it. I would love someone to monetize the channel. It would help to keep us going. But not if they want complete control. I can't do it. It's the same with pen shows, okay? So I heard, and I don't know if this is true, but I heard a rumor that Empire State Pen Show is thinking of doing media kits for next year. And I suppose by that, I would be considered media. I do not consider myself media. I'm a guy who makes videos, you know, in kind of a guerrilla style. If I had to apply for a media kit and there were guidelines and maybe there was a fee and maybe they wouldn't give me it next year if I didn't say or do certain things, I'm not doing that. I will never cover a fountain pen show anywhere, any place that requires me to have a permit. I totally respect their right to do that. It's a private event. It's a private hotel. Totally within their rights. But if they ask me to do it, I'm not doing it. I'm not a rules guy because I make the rules, right? Right? Isn't that what I said earlier? No, it's not me being arrogant, honestly. It's just that, to me, that's editorial control because it would give them a chance to not allow you to do it the next year or to try to control the message. And I have to be honest about everything. I'm telling you everything about this pen show, good, bad, ugly. Most of it's good. It was a good pen show. It was one of my favorites. I had a blast. But it's not a perfect pen show. I mean, you know, they need better security. better butt security. Is that terrible? But it's true. Yeah, I just really bristle at the idea of anybody having control. So I won't do that ever at any pen show. I just won't make that kind of content ever again. And I don't need to. What I would do is I'd probably grab people outside and talk to them. I would find a different creative spin on it, but I'm not going to do it. Elizabeth, did I get to MoMA? I did. It's part of my story. It's kind of coming up, but I can tell you in brief. Yes, Sunday morning we all went to MoMA and we had our MoMA moment, and Imogen got to see her Starry Night. She got to see her Frida Kahlo, which she really wanted to see. I saw the Hopper painting I wanted to see. Jackson Pollock. I'm a big Rothko fan. I got some B-roll in front of Rothko. So pristine. So perfect and nice. I was very happy. Okay, so yeah, I did do that. Terry Edgington, my buddy, Terry, who I saw in Chicago. You are independent, and I love that. Exactly. I am not a pen show. I am just a guy who makes videos. So don't fence me in, pen shows, because I won't do it. And those videos get a lot of attention, and a lot of people like them. So don't take my power away, or I will just eat gelato. Although I will say that if I wasn't filming, maybe I could enjoy the show, because it's too much for my little brain to film and think film. And I am thinking in film, because I'm thinking, all right, this is cool. I really want to speak to these people, get a nice bit for a video. I can do that, and I can, kind of take care of imaging. There was a scavenger hunt. We'll talk about that in a minute. And what I don't have capacity when I'm creating a video is to shop. So that's always what suffers for me. I can't switch gears to the shopping. I tried a few times, but I just can't. So there you have it. All right, let's keep rolling because there's so much to say. How are we doing on time? Oh, we better get moving. So one of the things I do want to say is my video this week is Journaling Secrets of Ernest Hemingway. So check it out Thursday at noon. All right, I appreciate it. And if you've made it to this point and you haven't subscribed, please do. It means a lot to me. It helps us support the channel, and I appreciate it. Also, membership's available. If you'd like to become a member, I'd love to have you, and that helps the channel as well. So please consider it. I'd love to have you. Okay. So we went to Sei Pens. Sei is a Japanese pen maker. Beautiful artistry. Wonderful pens. Love the guy. I think he's so cool. I love his hair. I love his style. He's kind of the guy that I look at and I'm like, I wish I were as cool as he. I'm just too goofy. But he is cool. He just has that coolness about him. His pens, his artistry, so choice. And my wife already has one. She loves it. But he had one with a kitten on it. I should have bought it. I should have. It was $800. It'd be another $170 for gold nib. It was just hard to think shopping. But I should have bought it for Helen. I didn't. I regret it. I regret it. So have no regrets at the pen show. Just buy the pens you want to buy. You know what I mean? Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful workmanship. D says, what did you buy? I'll tell you in a bit. I do have some stuff I did get. I'm telling you all the stuff I didn't get, but I'm going to tell you some of the stuff I did. So, Helen and Imogen were doing a scavenger hunt too, while she was filming and everything else. And they had a pretty hard scavenger hunt for M. There were like 20 items. There were things like find a rubber sack, find someone who works on fountain pens, find all these different things. Something very fun happened though while they were doing the scavenger hunt. Helen went to a table and they were able to check something off. And she asked the woman there at the table, can I please borrow your pen? And the lady held up the pen and said to Helen, cool or not cool? Which is just so awesome. So awesome. And by the way, there is another one coming in a few weeks. Another cool or not cool episode. So that will be fun. So that was super fun. There was a company there that took old jewelry boxes and kind of toiletry boxes and things and made pen cases out of them. They were very beautiful. I wanted them to go on camera, but I asked and they didn't want to, so I didn't put them on camera. But it was very cool. So I respect people's boundaries. Very cool. No problem there. Oh, I almost forgot to mention Ian Schoen was there. Ian and I are buddies, so it's always good to see a good friend. He's got a new pen called the Monarch Evos. Wait until you see this thing. It is epic. And I write with it in the video, so if you haven't seen the video, check it out. But it's absolutely epic fountain pen. Really love it. Another highlight is Sam from Mayfair Pens. All of his pens have Lord of the Rings themes, beautiful materials. He has the most amazing handwriting I've ever seen. I have it on my story on Instagram right now at Hemingway_Jones. If you pop over there, you can check it out. It's also in the video that I posted over the weekend. Sam and I are going to work together. He's going to send me a pen to review, which I'm really excited about. I will work with Sam because he is a cool guy. I like him. I love the Lord of the Rings. I'm already thinking of a narrative to tie it in somehow with Lord of the Rings and just see what his pens are all about. I'm kind of excited about that. I'm being very, very selective about who, meaning brand-wise, that I'll work with. And it's often the little ones, rather than the conglomerates or whatnot. So I'm super excited about that. Although I'm open to conglomerates too, let's be honest. Natasha from Inky was there. Got to see her and her partner. I wasn't quite sure who the gentleman was that she was with. I don't know if it was her husband or just a business partner, but very nice gentleman. And she's lovely. Always happy to help her. She has the cannolis we spoke about earlier. Hemingway Jones, all one word. You get 10% off. I get nothing. I don't want anything. Elizabeth asked, do you have many maker pens? I don't. I couldn't think of a single one. That was one of Alessandra's questions that I didn't even know what it was. I'm like, what's a maker pen? I now know. Because I don't have any. But Helen does. Helen has a Say pen, which is beautiful. But I can't think of one that I have. Maybe Sam will be my first. So I'm excited. Esterbrook was there. They were giving 10% off. That's not the biggest discount, but it's something, right? Ferris Wheel Press was there. I didn't know anybody at the Esterbrook table. I was hoping that Brian Holzer would be there, but he wasn't. So I was very disappointed. One of the things I noticed about fountain pen shows, there are usually no one with letter writing sets or journals. And this one was no different. There were virtually no journals, or few journals. Because I didn't see any, but, I didn't see everything. And no correspondence sets that I saw. I need to start a company of correspondences, because that's the thing that is hardest to find. And I don't think anyone's really doing it well anymore. So very disappointed about that. I need to start that company. So remind me later. Okay. So there were vintage pen makers there. Some of them were astronomical in their prices. That was one of the disappointments. The show was great for seeing stuff, but things were generally very, very expensive, in my opinion. There were no bargains to be had that I saw. This one This one vintage pen seller had a Hemingway, a Mont Blanc Hemingway. And one of my viewers, who shall remain nameless, I shall protect the innocent, was asking me, is this worth $2,800 for a Hemingway, Mont Blanc Hemingway? So I take it in my hands and I feel it, and it has a big chip at the back. And I said, I don't think so. This thing has a chip in it. To me, I won't buy it. To me, it's worthless with a chip. Not that I would pay less. I won't pay a dime for it, because I'll find one eventually that's nice. So I just don't. I don't do heavily damaged. So my advice was pass on it. So the seller then was like, oh yeah, there's a chip on the back. That's why it's priced at $2,800. It's like, now you say it? Now you let us know? Just because I noticed it? Were you not going to say anything? I don't appreciate that. I don't know their name. I don't remember their name. Would I out them? Maybe. Because that's wrong. Bad person. Bad. Whoever you are. Shouldn't do that. I just don't remember their name. They also had a Edson that they were sort of trying to upsell me. This is a one-of-a-kind special Edson. It didn't have its barrel. The barrel had broken, and they replaced it with some other barrel. Like, the barrel's like 40% of Edson-ness. It's an un-Edson. It's de-Edsoned. What are you doing? And they wanted $900 for it. For a 40% Edson. So be careful out there, people. That was very, very wrong. Another seller who was very sweet and nice, but incredibly overpriced, had this Chinoiserie pen that my wife loved. And I looked at it, and when you look at a vintage pen, your head tells you what you think it's worth. And my head, was saying 125, maybe 150. It was black. It was not that nice of a pen. You could feel that the clip was a little loose. It was definitely worn and had most of the engraving was just worn away. It was just not that great a condition. And I asked the gentleman, how much is this? $360. I was almost like, $360? You know the scene from Beverly Hills Cop where Eddie Murphy's like, get out of here. I was almost like, but I didn't. But I was thinking it. Yeah. So very expensive, very overpriced. Be very careful about that. I think the best value I saw was at MoMA the whole time I was there. And Truffet had some stuff too, which I would have bought if I wasn't busy doing other things. Okay. So that's pretty much the show, but now I want to show you of what happened at the fountain pen show. Now I'm going to show you what I got and tell you some quick stories about how I got it. But first, stand by for these messages. Tom Cooch, my man, $10. Thank you. Wish I could have made it to the show. Me too. Where were you? Well, $10 makes up for it. Thanks so much. Where were you, my friend, when I needed you on Saturday to keep me going? But yeah, there you have it. So, okay, let me show you some stuff. So, my friend Mark is a lovely man. And I'm not going to say his last name because I'm going to protect the innocent. But if you're in the pen world, you probably know who he is. He's a defense attorney and a lovely guy. I don't think I can show you this with the secondary camera. I'm going to have to show you with the main camera. But he bought this for me and gave it to me, which I was shocked. Shocked, I say, shocked. And Mark, my friend, you know I love you. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all the great conversation. I had a blast with you on Saturday, and thanks for this. So he gave me this. And this is a very rare wood. It's a rare edition of the Galen leather writer's desk. So the lap desk got the little latch there. And then you open it up. You have pen loops and you have journal loops. And then you have a message from my man, Mark. Oh, cool. And you got when this was made, January 2025. He wrote me a nice note. Love you, buddy. Thank you. This smells so good. Of course, it props up. And then you can write. Oh, I didn't do it right, but you get the idea. It goes underneath. And then you can write on your desk. In my carriage, as I cross the moors, writing my dear wife, Helen, who I adore. So I am over the moon about this. This is amazing. So I guess in a sense I got this at the pen show, but it was a gift. And thank you, Mark. You are the man. Love you, buddy. So thanks to him. But then also, Michael, you legend you. Do you remember perhaps a few months back when I mentioned that I had been in Florence last year at Latte Ciompi and I bought that kind of music journal and I wish I had bought another one that I was obsessing over which color and I wish I just bought two. You remember that? I hope you remember that. Well, Michael, legend, picked one up for me in Florence. Can you believe it? I guess I can show you this briefly because you've seen it before. Sorry for the ASMR, kind of unwilling ASMR. But look at this. Michael, you legend. I'm withholding your last name to protect the innocent. So he gave me this. I now have two. I can fill it up. So pretty. So it has all pages like this. Wouldn't it be fun to fill this up with journal entries? It'd be so pretty. So thank you, my friend. From Florence. He was in Florence. And he was thinking of me somehow. And he picked this up. Thanks, buddy. Awesome. Awesome. I have more stuff. Look, here's the tote bag. Empire State Pen Show. It's a really big show. Alright, let's show you some stuff. Shady Pines Paper Company. Thank you for your purchase. That's sweet. Oh yeah, Labubu's. Clearly Imogen's. But these are Labubu stickers. This is so cute. Alright. That's Imogen's. I think there's more in there. Oh, another Labubu. Okay. This is cute. Oh, this is their promotional stuff. Ooh, I love this. Every Gen Xer knows what this is. So, very nice. Emmy. This. I don't even know what half of these things are. Ah. Papier plume. So, this is something that Imogen bought. We got some wax. Sealing wax. That's actually for Imster. And then she got this wax seal with a kitten on it. So this is going to be her first wax seal with a pink handle from Papier Plume, which I'm very excited. I got this ink. I really wanted to show it to you, but I'm going to have to show it to you another time because we just don't have time. I'll show you what the bottle looks like. Ooh, Southern Nights. All this cool wax. Look at that. Isn't it so New Orleans? Look at this. That's what the color looks like. I love it. It's dark. It's mysterious. James said it was a mistake, but what a mistake. I wish I made mistakes like that, my friend. And by mistake, he means when he was creating it. You know, a happy accident. This is the promotional stuff. Like term. They had a giveaway. I never apply for the giveaway. I feel like it would be unfair if I won. Because, you know. Oh, Hemingway Jones won the giveaway. You know what I mean? That would suck. For everyone. Oh, there's candy in here. Oh, that's so nice. Saltwater taffy. Zebra. This is for Imogen. I forget what the purpose of the zebra was, but it's cute. Okay. Making some progress. So I bought this, believe it or not. It's a Z-grip. I got a project coming up that I'm going to need this, and I'll leave it at that because it should be interesting. And then this zebra is Imogen's, which is very nice. Gel pen. So she loves those. Okay, this is awesome. Mark Dwight, the man who runs circles around me, who can be up day or night, who never sleeps, had this cool one pen holder, pen case at the show with the lanyard so you could wear it around your neck. Awesome. I love Mark Dwight. He's such a gentleman. Rick Shaw makes the best cases. They're so nice. And he's out there working the show. He didn't even have a table there. He's just working. And he gave me this. I loved it. It was very awesome. Thank you. Cute. Don't know what that is. Oh, okay. So I bought this. It's a menacing notebook, but it looks like a moleskin. And you know this paper's good. So it's made in Japan. You know it's going to be good. Feels hard as a rock. Perfect. This is going to be good. This is for me. Oh, that's so cute. I don't know where that came from. I think it's Im's. There's a lot of stuff like stickers and things. Not sure why. Here's the your armbands, wristbands to get in the show. Very important. I thought there was more stuff than this, but maybe that's it. There's more stickers, but you know, stickers are kind of boring. Lemur ink. That's fun. So, I think there's some great stuff with the journal from Florence and the writing desk. Can you believe that? Isn't that unbelievable? I can hardly believe it myself, actually. So thank you so much for that. So we have a new video coming out this Thursday. What is it? I'll tell you what it is. Journaling Secrets from Ernest Hemingway. I went through my Hemingway archive to give you some journaling inspiration, journaling advice from one of the greatest writers that ever lived, Ernest Miller Hemingway. So I think you'll enjoy this. You get a bit of his background. You get some journaling techniques and some inspiration. And it's just kind of a fun way to look at journaling. So it's a great video to just stay inspired and to get some ideas to journal. And I think you'll like his advice. It's quite good. It's quite good, actually. And then next week, Pelican. That's all I can say. It's a top secret Pelican project. But when it comes, you're going to know. You're going to enjoy it, I think. It's a lot of fun. Whew. It was really quite the whirlwind weekend. We ended up leaving at 2 o'clock on Sunday to beat the nor'easter home. Even though the nor'easter wasn't much of a nor'easter, it was more like just a rainstorm. But it would have been a nightmare coming home Monday anyway. So I'm kind of glad we did. I had a chance to rest and recover. So all in all, interesting show. I may have been assaulted, but I had a nice time otherwise. And my wife and daughter had a great time and staying. It was a good spot to stay, although I wish the hotel were nicer because it was really kind of awful. I feel like I got a good representation of the show in the video. I think if I were to reduce it down to a few sentences, I would say that you could see a lot of interesting pens. It was generally sort of overpriced what was there. The independent people were fantastic, being able to see Mayfair pens, the Inky folks, and some of the others. The pen case boxes were really fun to look at. Truffet always has treasures. That was fantastic. Omas had amazing things. And Papier Plume, always a delight to see what they're up to. They have some great stuff. And I feel like it's probably a show that's going to grow over time. So I'm really glad I went. I'm glad I was able to document the first ever Empire State Fountain Pen Show. It was really a blast. A blast, a blast, a blast. Well, we have somehow come to the end of an hour, and it was a blast for me. I hope you enjoyed it. I love this exchange we have, so thanks so much. If you've reached this part, now I'm not asking. I'm sorry. The rules are if you watch a video for an hour, you have to hit subscribe. I didn't make this one up. Really, I did make it up. I did. Sorry, but please do. I'd appreciate it. In any case, thank you all so much, and especially those I got to meet over the weekend. The hugs, the encouragement, hearing your stories firsthand. So fantastic, so surreal. Wonderful to meet so many lovely people at the Fountain Pen Show. Alexandra, her mom, Mark Dwight, and James and Sam and Chris and Carrie and so many others. So much fun. Such a great time. So thank you all for watching. And I can promise you we're going to see each other again in 2 days because I have a video coming out. And then next week we will have Aquamarina, where she can tell her stories of watercolors and help me host. She can call out when I say something that's a malapropism, which is occasional, but it happens. But in any case, thanks so much for watching. Much love, and see you soon. Further up the road. So take care.